TikTok, time to rock. What's the other show motto? May the tone be with
Pitter
you.
patter, you better
hey,
get
brothers. Yeah.
I like it. Can you believe Fruitcake Tony's on here? It's like midnight back at home for him, and he is got the coffee pot brewing, and he's up and ready to party.
Wow, yeah. There's a few guys in here, bro. We've got Nelson saying g'day, Mark from Australia, Lenny Lou, thank you for the birthday wishes, Lenny Lou, Fruitcake Tony, Teresa from Brazil, Kurt 5150, and we've got the StreamYard dude hanging out in there as well. 8 people watching us, so it's always a pleasure to catch up with my co-hosts, bro. It's been a long time, 2 weeks since we were on together last.
Seems like longer.
Did you have a birthday? Yeah,
that was
Andrew, you had a birthday?
Yeah, you know.
You need to change your name to Andrew 5151.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, you've got a permanent gig here, bro.
Happy birthday, Andrew.
Man. Yeah,
cheers,
happy
bro.
birthday.
Cheers, bro.
Was
awesome.
It recently?
Johnny Bean in here?
35? Was it 35? You turned 35?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know. Oh, I'd be happy to be 45.
You're just a spring chicken.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Age is a number.
Awesome. Hey, we got Derek in the chat who normally watches us on replay. Thank you, Derek. And we've also got Stephen Booth. Has Stephen been on the show before, guys? I can't remember. Have you been on here before, Stephen?
Steven's been following me on Instagram, and he's been commenting on some stuff. So this may be his first show. So, Steven, thank you for joining. And I love your first name. That's my son's name.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Look, guys, while we're talking about social media and following and all that kind of important stuff, there's a couple of things that we need to share with you guys. There's Brad. Follow Brad on Instagram. Easy. At Brad Cook Music. Follow Brad. He'll keep you up to date with what we do here and his own personal musical things that keeps him busy. Yeah.
It's a musical extravaganza.
And, that's it. And there's the Rev there. Kurt5150 on Instagram. Easy. At Kurt5150. He'll keep you up to date also with what he's doing and what we do here as well. So it's always a pleasure. And if you guys haven't already subscribed to our channel here, please do. Guys, before we get into the show, so this is where we say to people, we're going to do the T-shirt draw. Okay, so we're going to do the T-shirt draw next show, live. But you have to be in the chat next show to win the T-shirt. So what we'll do is we'll give everybody a number and we'll get a random generator and we'll pick a number, and whoever corresponds to that number wins the T-shirt. What do you guys reckon? Is that the fairest way to do it?
Definitely. I think so. Can I go on the draw, Andrew? I swear I'll I'll promote the show. I promise.
Well, look, if you're in the chat, bro, Anyone who's in the chat, and we'll do it live. It'll be done randomly. So if it's close to home and somebody wins, well, that's.
Brad, if you need some extra clothing, I can send you some stuff that I've grown out of.
Well, man, I'm working so hard. I can tell you what, I could use some. No, I'm joking. That's okay. I'm fine,
I don't know if my arms probably be too small for you anyway.
No, come on, man.
You have to
I got
split them up here.
Like, I got probably like mountains of t-shirts, like band t-shirts through the years. I've got t-shirts I don't even wear, and I pulled some out the other day going, wow, I've got this. I forgot I had this one. Wow, I've got this ZZ Top one. Wow, I've got this one. It's like, wow. Yeah, I've got plenty of clothes, man. When people buy me clothes and stuff for birthdays and Christmases and stuff like that, I'm like, man, how am I going to wear all this stuff? Like, I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. So, yeah.
Well, lucky you're a co-host on these shows, because you can wear your t-shirts live, bro.
Well, that's why I've been saving them all these years. Is now when we do like a Clapton show, I'm wearing that. I'm wearing a Van Halen. I'm wearing a Led Zeppelin. I'm wearing a Jimi Hendrix. And there. So, list goes on, mate. I've got them all.
Yeah, I'm a nerd. I only have Van Halen t-shirts. J7 over 8. It's midnight where he's at as well. He must be about knee deep in some chocolate cashews that are keeping him up tonight. He got like a Santa Claus sack full of those nuts. It's amazing.
Well, we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys in North America, because of the different time zones joining us, and yeah, and we always appreciate the comments that people leave when they watch replays of the show. So thank you. We appreciate it. We're all friends and family here. If you guys haven't subscribed to Fruitcake Tony's show, please do. And obviously, we want to thank Johnny Bean, because he's one of the reasons why we're all here as Van Halen fans. He was the guy that kicked it all off, and we'll always recognize and be thankful to that. Thank you, Johnny.
We call him Daddy Bean over here. Uh-oh, Brad's mute. Did you kick him out already?
We call him Big Daddy over here in Australia.
What do you call him?
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy Bean.
Big Daddy Bean.
Yeah. I may have started that too, by the way, Johnny. So sorry about that.
I'm just
J7 over 8. You have that Rockman pin and going yet? He got a Rockman today from Lenny Lou.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was telling Cobra Kai, my brother has one. And those things are awesome, and I cannot believe that someone hasn't come out with a pedal that emulates that sound.
Oh, I've got no idea. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. It's interesting.
Yeah. So if you've watched anything on YouTube lately, you know the craze right now is that the folks in Def Leppard use that Rockman for a lot of their songs they recorded in Hysteria. So not only is it a distortion type pedal, but it's also, you get that chorusy clean sound at the beginning of Hysteria. And there's a few guys on YouTube that have put it together, and it sounds just like the album. Yeah, there's Cobra Kai right there.
Hey, Cobra. Okay, so apparently, according to Johnny, there might be some issues with StreamYard. So, okay, so we've been alerted to that. So if anything happens, guys, you know the reason why. There obviously are some tech glitches. So thanks for that, Johnny.
I'm not sure what that means, hissy. Do I got a hiss in my voice like a snake or something?
Well, here in New Zealand, if you say hissy, that means like if you're a hissy fit, that means you're angry, you know, you've lost control.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wouldn't want to see you have a hissy
You guys
fit,
have
Andrew.
never- You guys will never see me throw a fit.
Good on you, bro. Good on you.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. We're gonna stay
Unless
serious.
Unless I
serious
time
timber.
myself out. I can time myself out just to take a breather, but that's about it.
Well, it depends what the scores are going to be, I suppose, on this record, because that's one of the reasons why we're here, to go through the rankings. The last show we did, guys, we provided a bit of background information on the album, which was always interesting, and we look forward to doing that for the next show for Van Halen 1. We'll do the same kind of format. We'll go through, we'll provide some background information, and obviously you guys can contribute in the chat, and obviously with your comments after the show. Obviously, it's all about sharing the experience and passing on that information. We'll have the t-shirt draw, and then 2 weeks after that, we'll go through the definitive ranking for the definitive album. But before we go into the rankings for this album, the Rev has got some interesting information he wants to share with us. So pass it on, bro. What have you got there?
I was going to share real quick. I got this in the mail the other day. You guys ever seen these mini LP CDs?
No.
Yes, no, maybe so. It's pretty cool. It's like an album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. I got it on eBay. It was like $8. So I got all three platforms here of VH2. Kind of cool. Just thought I would show that real quick. And
Fantastic.
then, Andrew, are you laughing at me? I got a few unboxings. Some of you guys may know if you're on the Johnny Bean Discord. Ding! I don't have the sound box, so I can't do it, but I'm putting together a guitar. I made the decision to start building the Bumblebee, and I got my body coming 5 weeks from now, which is pretty wrenching for me. When I start building these guitars, I really like to move and get them done quick, and I got to wait 5 weeks for this thing to get here. So I pretty much ordered everything, from the neck to the pickup to the tuners to the. I got all the paint right here ready to go to paint the body. So school bus yellow, duplicolor, and then of course stripe it with black. I got all my tape ready for the striping.
Wow.
I got the larger eye hooks. So in the early days, Eddie used a little bit bigger strap eye hooks on his first couple guitars versus the later ones where he used smaller ones. And I got 3 little packages. I'm going to open up real quick if you guys don't mind a second here. All right, first one. I'm gonna have stuff coming in probably for the next 2 weeks, so I'm not sure exactly what all this stuff is, but we will check it out as it comes. Custom high friction 500K pot, and this is my second one. As you guys know, the Bumblebee had 2. He had one tucked in the back route. So this is my second one to go along with the other one. I'll throw in there as well. Let's see what we got here. It's like Christmas. So we got a input jack plate for the side of it. This is like the Gibson style chrome jack plate. And some of you guys may know I live in like a one guitar store town, and there's not a ton of selection when it comes to parts. So I got to do a majority of my shopping online and get it shipped here. So I can't just go to Guitar Center or wherever and pick up everything I need. All right. We got a gold string retainer or brass string retainer. pretty cool about the Bumblebee is it had chrome tuners, brass string retainer, and then it had a couple different brass trims on it, and then a steel trim that was rusted. And I have gone and decided I'm going to do the bronze antique Floyd Rose. So as soon as that thing comes, hopefully I'll be able to open on the channel.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's about it. I got a bunch of stuff coming in. I told you guys I decided to go with the DiMarzio Tone Zone on that guitar, which is probably a little controversial. A lot of people were telling me to do the Pariah Pasadena, which I originally was going to do, but it was like a 7 to 8 week wait on that thing. And I didn't want to do the Super Distortion. I really like the sound of the Tone Zone. So I got a white one coming, which would be cool. I ordered my tuners and trim today. They should be here next Monday. My neck will be here on Monday.
Far out.
But yeah, it'll be fun to put that thing together. I'm hoping it'll be done mid-June. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. You'll have to keep us updated with it as you go on.
Yeah. And then, of course, the body's coming from K&E, which I got my 5150 body from there. The only difference is this one's an ash body, Samus style, Nerd Halen. Caleb, I don't know if he's in here or not, but his Bumblebee's the same body. And Mitch over there at K&E Guitars is really great to work with. But they're super busy right now. It's like everyone's building these Van Halen-esque guitars, and they can't keep up with the supply and demand. And he's like, they're working weekends. And so it's just cool to get started on another guitar, and I can't wait to get it finished. So that's all I got for now.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Johnny's birthday's in mid-June. What do you want me to build you a guitar, Johnny?
Yeah. He reckons he's only 29 too, so Hey Sonia, thank you for joining us. Good to see you. And good to see everyone else in the chat for joining us too. It's always a pleasure, and we're humbled with the support that you guys give us. It's fantastic. So, we do look forward to spending some time with you guys. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get the Rev to kick off. He's going to introduce the songs. He's going to talk about it. He's going to give his rankings. And then Brad will follow. And I'll just be just giving my ranking at the end, because these guys are the guys that know this album inside out. So they're the reason why we do this show. It's because of the knowledge and the information that these guys have gathered over the last 30, 40 years. That's always important and a treat to participate and listen to. So it's always a joy. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, and thank you, Andrew, for kicking it off. If you guys 2 weeks ago when we did the .10 on this show, we kind of did a deep dive in recording of the album, what was going on in 1978 and 79 when they were getting off the first tour. We went through a bunch of information on the guitars Eddie used on the album, the recording, and then we dived a little bit into the tour. So if you haven't watched that show, go watch last 2 weeks ago's show, and then this week we're just going to go right into the tracks. But I thought I would give a couple useless facts about Van Halen 2. 6 million copies have been sold to date, I believe. Of course, it was Van Halen's second album. It came out on March 23rd, 1979. The band went out on tour on March 25th. So a couple days after the album was released, the band went out on tour. It was their first headlining tour. They started the tour off in Fresno, California. And the big thing too, guys, is this was their first headlining tour. They had just gone off the one where, they were joined by Montrose and Journey. And then, of course, doing the second leg with Black Sabbath. But, the band had to go out and buy a couple semis, get their stage, get their own sound system, because they were using someone else's equipment on the first tour. So they went out and went from like a 12-man crew to a 24-man crew. But they hit the road and they went all over the world, did 3 legs in the United States. They went to Europe. They went to Japan. On April 3rd, the album certified gold. So just basically a few weeks in, it went to gold. And then, of course, in May, it hit platinum, which was a pretty epic time to have 2 albums go platinum back to back. And then in June, the band released Dance the Night Away. And then in September, they released Beautiful Girls. And then in Japan, they released DOA, Dead or Alive, which wasn't released as a single in the States. The tour lasted 7 to 8 months, depending on, counting the days. Of course, I said the first tour was in America. Then they went to Europe. Then they had another second leg in the United States. Then they went to Japan. Then they came back for a third leg in the United States. Recording all songs, most of them were off the Warner Brothers or the Gene Simmons demo, but 2 of them, Spanish Fly and Dance the Night Away, were added afterwards. The band actually took a vacation in Belize. I put together a little calendar, and they got off tour on December 3rd, and they went to Belize in the South Pacific on December 5th, and they were back and recording the album on December 11th. So they literally had like 5 days off before they got in the studio, and their last show was in San Diego, California. I don't know if they went to Pasadena and then flew to Belize and then came back and jumped in the studio, but literally, like, those guys did not take a break.
Wow.
Between recording this album and going out on tour. So, yeah. Brad, do you got anything on Van Halen 2 album that I may have missed?
No, I think you've covered everything off, mate. You're the guru, man. You're the rev. You've got all the information. I'll tell you what, I'm actually learning little bits and pieces that I didn't know, which is fantastic. So it's really good. But
cool.
Van Halen 2, it's quite a unique guitar tone in itself. Obviously, every album, I think Ed went for a different tone. Tonality-wise, the record, I can hear less trickery on this album, studio trickery on this album than the first album. I don't know if that's something that, is common knowledge or not, but that's probably the only thing I can really sort of add on to what you've already sort of alluded us or awoken us all to.
Yeah, I think there's also another little point too, is that bands could still make a little bit of money, couldn't they, through record sales? A little bit of money, but a majority of the income that a band was making was clearly through live gigs and performances. So the more bigger the venues, obviously the financial reward, and that was always a motivating fact with the band too. Let's be clear, there's a commercial aspect to making music, and Van Halen certainly in a short time managed to do pretty well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you got to don't forget that they were 2 million, 1.5 million, 1.8 million dollars in the hole when they got back off of that first tour. So they were almost strong-armed to get back in the studio, get this album pumped out so they could get back on tour and make some money, because I think they made some money.
Did they have any idea, bro? Did they have any idea how much money they were in debt? I don't think they did they? They had no real idea themselves, did they?
Well, if you listen to the Steve Rosen interview from January '79, Eddie hadn't received a check yet.
Yeah,
from Warner Brothers. So I don't think they knew. Well, I mean, they were in the process of getting rid of their first manager and going to Noel Monk. So I think that was probably one of the reasons why they left that manager, is because he signed them a bunk deal. Yeah, and they made
Yeah.
some money, and he spent money. You know, they weren't making the money they thought they were going to get. So,
Yeah.
This album, you guys have probably heard this a million times, but for Christmas, my brother gave me Van Halen 1 and Van Halen 2 on a Memorex tape, 90 minutes on both sides, so you could fit two albums, one on side A, one on side B, and it was my second Van Halen. You know, first one was 5150, and then I got these two albums, but you know, these 1 and 2 albums are real special to me because, you know, I was 9-10 years old, and really nothing going on in my life other than baseball and football. But, you know, just listening to music all night in my bedroom, listening with headphones. That's one of the reasons why these two are so special to me, is because, you know, I listened to them straight for probably a couple years until OU 812 came out, I believe. So I probably wore these things out for a couple years before I had enough money to even like go to a record store and buy a record or a CD or a tape. So I had these 3 albums were really my go-to tapes when I was a young 10, 12-year-old kid. But that's why they're so special to me. And most of you guys who know me know I lean more heavy towards David Lee to Sammy Hagar as my preferred singer, and David Lee Roth, you know, I still love him, but he's not my favorite. But these 2 albums, I believe the music shines through some of the singing. So they hold a special spot in my heart. But they're, you know, I prefer Sammy over Dave. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. If anyone wants to crucify me, that's fine. But these 2 albums are still in my top 5. So that tells you how strong they are. I'll throw it out there. I don't care.
What about you, Brad? When was the first time you think you picked up on this album? Yeah, do you want to share that with us?
Yeah, my experience with Van Halen 2 and Van Halen 1 were similar to Kurt's in a sense where, you know, I'd got 1984, 5150, but I really liked them and everything. But when the Carnal Knowledge record came out, that was a full-blooded nut after that. So I went backwards and bought Van Halen 1 and 2 at the same time. So it was more, you know, going backwards after hearing sort of Carnal Knowledge, I could hear the roots, I could hear the certain things that were carried through to that point. But I felt that evolved a lot through the years to get to Carnal Knowledge. But I could hear the excitement and the passion and the heartfeltness there to succeed. Like, they were young guys, they were pushing the limits, and mind blown by the ability of how young they were and what they were actually doing and executing on a record. It's just mind blowing. So they hold a special place to me as well. They're not, you know, obviously I went backwards. I wasn't young enough to buy 1 and 2 at the time when they were relevant. So to actually go back and listen to them, it put me in that sort of frame of mind. So yeah, I love them. I love all the records. I reckon, not sure if I could rank 1 to 10 anymore, because the more I deep dive into these records, I fall in love with them for a different reason now. It's been a really good experience doing this because, as we talk about on the British Electric Blues show, it's really good to, you know, deep dive into an album you might not have listened to for a long time, or there's certain albums that, like, I can't listen to all the time because you've listened to them too much. And then when you do listen to them with fresh ears, it's amazing. So how about yourself, Andrew?
Yeah, I wish there was a period of time when I heard these albums. You know, Diver Down was the album that I remember buying and going backwards when I had Diver Down, listening to Fair Warning, Women and Children First, and this album. So it was around, you know, I was listening to these albums at the same time. So I couldn't consciously, guys, hear the progression in the albums because it was just everything. It was just the soundscape that I was listening to, if that makes any kind of sense. It wasn't until later on. Yeah,
exact same.
Yeah,
with me.
you know, when I was, when there was space between the albums and I was listening to other things and then going back and listening to Van Halen 1 and then Van Halen 2 and going, oh, yeah, realizing and appreciating, the differences. But, when I was, gosh, I wasn't 8 or 9 listening to Van Halen, guys. I was 13, 14, when I was listening to Van Halen. So it was just Van Halen everywhere. Yeah. It was, I was just being consumed by it, like a lot of us were at an early age. But I certainly, bro, I wasn't listening to music when I was 8 or 9, other than what was on the radio. So, but Van Halen 2, boy, there's some standout songs on this album that I absolutely love and adore. So I look forward to sharing those rankings with you and obviously everyone else in the chat too as we kick off the show. Don't be scared to give us your rankings. And Kurt timed himself out before because he put it out there who his preference was. So, we'll do voluntary timeouts. We're happy to do that.
I do own a set of leather chaps, if that brings me back.
Somewhat brings
so, oh. I'm not going. Where do you wear your leather chaps?
Church.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's leave it to the bedroom and don't bring your bread out of the bedroom. All right, you can wear your chaps.
I like wearing my leather chaps when I go play dodgeball. Just imagine the guy behind me when I got to bend over to pick the ball up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, goodness.
Oh gosh. Oh my.
All right,
God.
Jay's want me to look into the bare knuckle VH2 pickup. So Jay, I shopped like 5 different pickups, and dude, they're all like on back order for months. But I'll check that one out for sure because I trust your judgment.
Johnny's saying that you need to open up an OnlyFans page.
The problem is I don't even know what that is.
I'm not going to tell. I don't know. I've heard a couple of things, a couple of different versions. I don't know
like
either.
Is that like swipe right? Or swipe left? Which one is it?
It's you subscribe to it, you pay, you get more content.
Oh, okay. Maybe I do need that. All right. So you're no good. What a good segue.
Very good.
Yeah. You guys are going to be surprised because I ranked like every one of these songs pretty high. So they, everyone like hates You're No Good and they don't like Dance the Night Away. And I ranked them all pretty dang high. So I might be playing a little bit of fanboy here because this album, really means a lot to me. So I'm not going to BS you guys. Like, these are true rankings for me.
I appreciate it because there are some rankings that you've surprised us with in the past. So yeah, it's always interesting when you give your own rankings and you think, what's Kurt going to say here? Because you've surprised me and Brad surprised me in the past too. So it's always interesting.
I realize the toilets flush a different direction on this side of the world compared to you guys. So we're just a little bit different.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with being a fanboy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with giving fanboy scores because, we're fans and that's what it's about, bro. So, yeah, call it as you see it.
No, I'll bring my wife in here. She'll tell you how much she doesn't appreciate that I'm a fanboy. All right. So You're No Good, opening track. I give this bad boy a 9 out of 10. To me, I thought it was very interesting how similar the first album and the second album, these two songs were with Running with the Devil, how they both started off with a non-guitar track, quote unquote, noise with Michael Anthony's bass and the, combined car horns in the first album. So I kind of wonder how much of they were trying to imitate like 2.0 on this album. So I thought the beginning of this song was pretty similar to the first song in the first album. With that bass and hard guitar riff coming in that Eddie has. So I don't know. It was pretty unique how they both sound similar to me. David Lee Roth suggested to Ted to do this song. Ted said, it was just done by Linda Ronstadt. And David Lee Roth said, so what? We'll scare the hell out of them with ours. That was his quote. Like, who cares that Linda Ronstadt just did this song, 2 years ago? We're better than that. And we're going to knock the socks off the people with our version of this song. The band did the song in the club days prior to putting it down on tape, and they didn't even listen to Linda Ronstadt's version, the original version in the studio. In fact, I think Ted just hummed the lyrics to Dave, and Ed and Al just picked it right up. And in fact, it's said that the beginning of this song was used in the club days with the song called Down in Flames. Have you guys heard that?
No.
All right. Let's play it real quick. Give me a second here to cue it up.
Oh, from one of the demos, Kurt, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Sorry, because I've got the demos, so I may have heard this.
This is actually a live recording during the club days, so it's not on the demo.
Okay.
So obviously that version has totally different lyrics, but the beginning and then the riff is the exact same riff that they used for this song. Of course, it's not even anything close to what Linda Ronstadt used. So it's they just took a song that they had played before and Dave put those lyrics to it, basically is what they did. But pretty genius for the band to do that. And, Ted gets a bad rap for the band doing a lot of covers. And we talked about this during Diver Down. He only suggested one cover on all of their albums, and that was Dancing in the Streets. All the rest of the covers were all either the band's idea or David Lee Roth's idea. There I go again, blaming David Lee Roth because everyone knows that I like Sammy better, but, it's just the way it is. Let's see. Also, part of that song, Down in Flames, you can hear parts of Tattoo on the Different Kind of Truth album. And we all know that Van Halen is notorious for taking bits and pieces of songs and putting them in other songs or integrating them in new material. So I think that the band did an amazing job putting this track together. To me, it's a killer cover. I think covers are really unique when they don't sound anything like the original. So that's one of the reasons why I gave this a 9 out of 10. David Lee Roth's blood-curdling screams. It's one of my favorite Van Halen originals. Eddie's solo is incredible. And in Ted's book, his idea was to get Ed to play a horror film type solo. His thought was to have the Alfred Hitchcock Psycho movie where the main character was being stabbed in the shower. That was his idea of what he wanted the solo to be like. And he said that Ed nailed it. So if you go back and listen to the solo on You're No Good, you can kind of get that horrific or, that type of vibe, I guess we'd call it. But I challenge anyone to put this song on a nice set of headphones, crank it up to about 9, and just listen to the whole thing, and you may change your previous score. 9 out of 10 for me. I love the beginning with the flangey bass, and it almost sounds like there's a flange in the drums as well. And of course, Eddie comes in with those incredible volume swells that he does with, the volume pot that was another trick to this album. So, Brad, you're next.
Well, for me, the amount of times I've listened to Van Halen 2 now in the last 4 weeks, he's timed himself out. For me, listening to this song over and over and over again, I originally ranked this a lot lower, but I've actually ranked it quite high now because it's infectious. It's so catchy the way they've done this song, and it's so unique in itself. I mean, that intro with the bass flange, it's so tough when it kicks into. It's real sludgy. It's gritty. It's naughty. There's so much about the vibe of the band. You can hear the band are just going through the paces of what they normally would with the song, but it's a cover, but they're making it their own, which I love that. I love the feel on the drums. Like Alex, he has this unique signature feel in everything he puts down, and you can really hear it on these first 2 records, Van Halen 2. His drumming on this record is so unique, different to a lot of drummers at the time when you think about the drumming that was around at the time. Love the dynamics on this song because it sort of lifts and goes up and down so much. The solo in this song is alien-like. It's like Ed pushing himself. It's phenomenal. And the solo, the more I listen to it, the more I fell in love with this song. And not just because of the solo, but how unique they made this song become from a song that I'm not very big on, like the original version of it. I'm not, or the Linda Ronstadt version of it. I don't necessarily like the song that much. So they turned it into, it's a classic example of what you can do with a song from a different point of view to make it something completely different. And I love what they've done with it. I put here the breakdown section with the volume swells, the amazing vocals and the harmonies all the way through it. David Lee Roth shines on this record. I think we spoke to Caleb about this, and he mentioned this a few times, that probably he blew his voice out a lot in this record, and you can hear in this one he's really pushing it. I just want to note the bass intro. It sounds similar to something like Gene Simmons used to do in a bass solo. Do you guys picking that up? I don't know if that's just me or just, I don't know. I hear a lot of Gene Simmons in this song for some reason on bass. I don't know why, whether it's part of a Gene Simmons solo or when he used to do his bass solos. I'm not sure, but I gave it 10 out of 10, and I would never skip it.
I love the song too. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I think it's a brave choice for a band, but it's also a confident statement of a band, to do a cover of an artist who was probably, if you're my vintage, you'd remember how popular Madonna was. So Linda Ronstadt was a popular singer. She was dominating the charts from a country perspective, but also the popular music chart. So to do a cover of her song is interesting and important, because I think someone in the chat made a comment about having a familiar ear for a band, and that was very important. I think Van Halen were a smart organization. They knew what they were doing. They knew they were tuning into something. I think Steve Anderson on a couple of early shows that we did said it was really important for a band to involve girls and the development of the band's trajectory and where you're going. So a lot of girls would have known this song and this tune from Linda Ronstadt. So it's bringing in a lot of people to this album that I think is a smart move. I love the song. I love the swells, the dynamics that you guys have mentioned. It's phenomenal. One of David Lee Roth's best vocals. I've got to say it, guys. It's one of his best vocals, and one of their best covers. So much better than Dancing in the Streets, isn't it? Just just so much better. Loved the song when I heard it first. I remember playing it on a record probably half a dozen times in a row because I was familiar with the tune. And again, I got to echo what Brad said. It's never a skip. 10 out of 10.
Love it.
Man, I feel bad. I
gave it a 9.
I'll just say, like, I never ranked it a 10 out of 10 before I started deep diving into this record. I would have ranked it initially. My first ranking was 7 out of 10, but the more I listened to it, and I mean, we've had a long time to listen to this record, and I've been, going over my original rankings and changing them as I've been going because
that's okay.
It probably would have been good to do that on some of the earlier records that we've ranked because I reckon I might have ranked them a slight bit different, but it's fantastic.
Brad, those rankings are now on the World Wide Web forever, so you can't pull them back.
Unless we put a gun to Andrew's head and say, mate, remove it from YouTube immediately.
Pull the trigger.
All right. Well, should we move on to the track 2?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, can't wait. Oh.
Dance the Night Away.
Oh.
So before we got into the green room, I was listening to Dance the Night Away when Andrew jumped on and I was on there waiting, and I had a moment tonight. I guess I'll be vulnerable with you guys, but Eddie's huge part of my life, and like I'm a big fanboy of him and the band, and I almost got super emotional before Andrew jumped on, and then he jumped on, and I was just kind of like staring into space, and I don't know, I had a moment where sometimes his passing hits you in different times of your life or different parts of the day, but for some reason tonight before the show, listening to this track, like it really hit me that the man that filled pretty much my whole childhood soundtrack is no longer here. So it was a tough moment, and he asked me, he's like, you want to talk about it on the show? And I'm like, no, I don't want to get emotional, but I don't know, I just felt like I needed to let you guys know that I had a moment today, and it was about this song. And I'm actually going to play you the track. It's the isolated track to this song. Thank you, Eddie Van Halen, for bringing harmonic tapping to the rock and roll industry. Hundreds of guitarists copied this unknown sound that they had never heard before. A lot of people thought it was a keyboard, but I'm going to play the isolated track to Dance the Night Away. I'm just going to play like the last minute of it. If you guys haven't heard this, it's incredible. So sit back and just listen. that came through okay on StreamYards, but
Yeah,
if
sounded good.
if you haven't heard that before, Brad, have you heard that before?
I've heard the isolated tracks for this one a long time ago, like a year or so ago. Yeah, I haven't listened to them recently. No.
What I hope you don't mind me put you on the spot because you're a guitar player, but what kind of was going through your mind when you were listening to that?
Lots of things. It's like, when you're listening to the track, from a non-guitarist point of view, you think that that's keyboards. It has that keyboard effect.
1979. You know, that's what I'm thinking. 1979, this freaking kid's doing this. Like, what?
Well, as far as I'm aware, I don't think anyone was doing it. I may be corrected here, but I don't think anyone was doing that before.
Not that.
This. Yeah, not like that. So there's innovation right there.
Yeah. So what is it? The 12 steps down, he's tapping the string from his fretting finger. But I've tried it. I can't do it. Like, literally, I can't do it. You have to hit the string a certain way. I'm sure Jay could probably do it, and Johnny. But, man, it's incredible. And it kind of gets – that end piece that I played kind of gets lost in the end of the song because Dave's and the band's like singing, and Alex's drums are incredible, and it kind of gets lost in the mix. And a lot of people did think that it was a keyboard, but man, awesome. So back to the song. Sorry for going off on a tangent there, but I know we're a family show, Andrew, but this song was actually written about a girl who, back in the club days, the band saw. It might have been on the tour. I'm not sure, but basically the band was out back in the parking lot before a show. I'm thinking it was the club days, but they saw a girl and a guy in a car having relations, I guess we'll say, and with the guy, and they see pretty much the whole thing go on in the parking lot through the window, and then they go on stage and play, and they see the girl on the dance floor dancing, and she has her pants on backwards. And the band's like, that's the same girl we saw in the car with the dude. And they wrote the song about it. And originally the song was called Dance Leota Dance. But Ed actually came up with the idea of, for making it a single, let's call it Dance the Night Away instead of Dance Leota Dance. So, people say the original riff was inspired by Fleetwood Mac's Go Your Own Way. I don't want to play that song because we may get flagged. But if you listen to that song, you can kind of pick up how it's somewhat similar with the chorus. But, of course, the band needed a pop radio hit. They had just come off tour with Black Sabbath. I think they were trying to not necessarily keep themselves separate from the heavy metal scene, but they didn't want to be associated with heavy metal. They wanted to be a rock and roll party band. So it was Ed's idea to come up with this uplifting song, and actually Ted Templeman helped write the chorus and melody for this song, and he actually sang on background vocals for this song and didn't give himself credit on helping with writing the lyrics and singing it. So it's a very feel-good song. I think today it's still strong. It can be heard in supermarkets, or it could be heard on a romantic comedy movie. And Eddie lost interest in this song after a few tours, and he actually resented the song, and he was quoted to say he didn't like playing it live. And they stopped playing it in the 1984 tour and then brought it back after he rejoined DLR.
How do I follow that, Kurt?
Sorry.
Did you give a ranking?
Oh, sorry. 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Is that all? Is that all?
10.7 out of 10.
Yeah. Look, I love the intro to the song. I reckon the song has a real summer vibe to it. I don't know if you guys pick up on that, like a real summer party vibe to it. It's happy. It's a pop song. I love the vocal harmonies. At times, it kind of reminds me of the vibe that David Lee Roth wanted to go in his solo career. This song reminds me of that. It's a cool, catchy song. The highlight is obviously the tapping harmonics. For me, that's what I put here in my notes. Originally, I ranked this a lot lower because I'm in the context of the record. I think it's probably one of the weaker tracks, but I gave it a 7 out of 10 because it just, to me, it's not really capturing the essence of Van Halen. So, but that's just me. I'll time myself out. Okay. But
no, you're okay as long as you're above a 5. You're okay.
I gave it a 7 because of the rankings. The way I ranked the other tracks, I couldn't rank it any higher. But for me, it's still a great song. It's still, but in the context of the record, for example, it's not a big one for me.
Yeah, I'm getting lashings from Jay for giving it a 10 out of 10, so that's okay. I'm a fanboy.
Oh.
Well, I'll give you my original ranking, guys, and the only reason I went up because the more I listened to it, I realized the brilliance in what Ed was doing on the track. But I originally gave it 6, so I put it, yeah.
Honesty is the best policy. What's up, Robot Master?
Hey, Robot.
Oh, he timed himself out.
Yeah, he deserves to be there. Look, I love this song. I unashamedly appreciate the pop sentiments and orientation to this song. I just want to share a little bit of an experience I had with you guys when Van Halen 1 came out. Greatest Hits Volume 1 came out September '96. I remember taking the CD to a party and playing it, and a majority of the people at this party were not Van Halen fans. And the first song on that CD is Eruption, then Ain't Talking About Love, Running with the Devil, and then the fourth song is Dance the Night Away. And I have to tell you from my experience, everybody at this party, and there was 50, 60 people, were just dancing and going crazy, and played the song again and again. I think we played the song about half a dozen times in a row, and it was just infectious watching people just appreciate a song that they probably never heard in their lives. And cool. That's the motivating fact behind this song, isn't it? And behind this band, that they had the ability to cross musical boundaries and not be categorized. And I love that, Kurt. I love that in this band, that they can rewrite where they want to go. I love the song. It's a 10.5 out of 10 for me, and it's never a skip. Love it.
I love it. So
come back, Brad. Come on. We miss you.
I don't want to date you, Andrew. Well, I guess that sounded weird. It sounded really weird. Oh, my God. 96, I was a senior in high school. So just go back and think about how old you were in 96 when you brought that to a party. I took it to a party.
To a party. Oh, yeah, I used to go to a few parties, bro. Come on.
I know you did.
Come back, Brad. Come back.
Did he go to the lake?
Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, we better carry on then. We got people in the chat, man. Oh, here he is. Oh, here he is.
I was just hiding. I was lurking.
It's all right, buddy. 6 out of 10, you're okay.
That's okay.
I
That's
had
right.
7 out of 10.
All right. So we're moving on.
Yep.
Somebody get me a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Club Day song. It was on the 77 Warner Brothers demo. It was actually written right around the same time that Running with the Devil was written. This is a fan favorite. Let's see. 98, when Gary Sharon was in the band VH3, they did this song. Michael Anthony sang lead vocals on it. So if any of you guys saw that tour, that was pretty cool to hear this song come back, because it had been a long time since they had played it. And of course, Michael Anthony sang lead on it. So that was pretty cool. Big memory for me. Crowd went nuts when that happened. This is actually about drugs and drug use and partying. If you listen closely, seconds before the solo, you can hear someone partaking in a white substance that you snort up your nose. So, Brad, there you go. You probably had no idea. Did you know that?
I don't even know what white substance is, mate. I'm a good boy.
Snorting Kool-Aid. Put some headphones on and take a listen, and you can faintly hear it. So obviously around that time, the band, if you guys read Platinum Producer's Life and Running with the Devil, that drug use was pretty heavily used this time during the band's era. And I think it probably wasn't around much during the first recording because the band was probably poor. And of course, you got to realize they went and toured with Ozzy Osbourne, and he probably was the bad influence on these guys. So I don't know, maybe it was one of their Easter egg things that they put in the song that only a few people knew about, and they're waiting to see who picked up on it. But I actually heard about it from Nerd Halen. So Caleb, shout out to you. This was a single in Japan right around the same time that Dance the Night Away came out. Let's see. Drums are strong on this song, and you'll hear me talk about this throughout the whole album. Of course, Eddie didn't think that the first album, Alex got very much credit to what was put on record, so he really wanted to change that because most of the focus was on Eddie on the first album. So Ed wanted to highlight the drums, and so I think him and Don Landy put a little bit more effort into miking up the drums and changing the drum sound on this album. And of course, this one was a big one for Alex. And I love the background vocals, of course. I give this one another fanboy 9 out of 10.
Oh, that's good. I'm back on track. Guys. Well, somebody get me a doctor. I remember seeing Michael Anthony sing that when I was fortunate and lucky enough to have seen them on the Van Halen 3 tour, which was awesome. So listening to this song sort of takes me back to that moment for some reason. I thought it was really cool to see the three of them up there playing this song. It's a big, rock intro. It's very cool. It's a tough riff, like very tough sounding riff. Nice stabbing accents at the start. I don't know, the verse sounds a bit choked up, but it's deliberate. And then, I love the bit where the give me the doctor, somebody give me a doctor. I love that bit. It's just the vocals there are just phenomenal. The volume swells into the solo are awesome. And I love the key shifts in the solo, very clever. There's some newer sort of tricks from Ed in the soul, I've noticed. At that point in time, he was doing a few different things. And the song's really catchy as well. And I gave it a 9 out of 10. Andrew.
Oh, I love the riff. Great riff, isn't it? Great riff, and you know, I've got to echo what Brad said. That was the tour that I saw Van Halen on too. So, you know, we were lucky to, you know, be part of, you know, something special down here that you guys in North America have been happy to have and fortunate to have for a long, long time. Fruitcake Tony, 40 odd gigs or something like that, you know. So our co-host Kurt, how many gigs have you seen? Yeah, 12 gigs. So
12.
yeah. So yeah. Yeah, look, I do have some sentimentality that's attached to this song too, because, you know, it was one that was played live. Love the riff. It's a great riff. Love wasting time on YouTube watching cats play this riff. It's just fantastic. It's 9 out of 10 for me. Never a skip. And you know, I think it's a rite of passage, isn't it, for a lot of guitar players? It's probably the top 3 or 4 songs that a guitar player is going to learn. They're going to learn, you know, this riff, aren't they? Apparently.
Yeah. I've actually seen the Van Halen 7 times, but 12 if you count how many times I've seen David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar. So a little correction there.
Yeah. Bye, Jay, if you're in the chat. Sorry we didn't get a chance to say bye, but, you know, when the co-hosts are talking, we let them go and continue their train of thought. But we did say goodbye in the chat. See you, Jay.
Nighty-night, Jay. What's up, Amanda Coombs?
And Deja Voodoo, thanks for joining us, guys.
Man, someone's popular over there.
Who's pinging?
I'm pinging and I'm trying to stop it, and someone keeps pinging me.
Oh, okay. Getting pinged. Okay.
Awesome. I'm getting pinged. I just don't know why, mate. I never get pinged, but I get pinged when I come on this show for some reason.
Swipe right.
No, not much swipe right action going on, mate.
All right. Speaking of swiping right, bottoms up. This song was used as an encore in the first tour. I love the amazing we're losing Brad here. I love the amazing soft guitar hook. It's like we lost him. It's Eddie with the volume knob turned down, playing those riffs, and then Alex comes in with those just crashing drum sounds. I think this is Alex's one of his strongest songs, up there with Hot for Teacher. Yes, I said it. One of his strongest songs, up there with Hot for Teacher. Dave and all of his squeals. The band does an awesome job on the 4-piece, I guess we'll call it, like barber quartet, right? Barbershop quartet, where they're singing a cappella. I love the piece where the band starts laughing in the middle of it. I thought it was really cool that Ted kept that in on the song. It really brings the character to this song. Eddie drops in with the solo. I like how it has 2 different solos. You know, he teases us with one little one, and then the song kicks back in, and then he comes back in with another one. He does that a couple times in this album, and I kind of wonder why. Because typically he would run through just one solo partway through the song, but for some reason he broke it up a couple times in this album, so I thought that was pretty cool. I actually love all the boogie influence songs that they do. You know, the ZZ Top DNA boogie songs. This is a 7 out of 10. Never skip.
I'm just making sure my microphone's still on because I was laughing a lot from your last comment just before we went in there. I was going to say something and I thought we'll keep it family orientated. So bottoms up.
Yeah, we can do it. We have a private chat up there you can use.
Bottoms up. All right. So I love the intro. I love the intro. definitely kicks when it kicks in. It reminds me of ZZ Top. That there's just no mistaking or hiding that. It's I do think that they were a big influence on the band. Maybe not so much individually each player, but the band ZZ Top were a big influence, definitely. I love the bluesy vibes. I mean, I'm a blues guy, blues rock guy. I love blues, so anything that sort of resembles a blues shuffle or anything like that, I'm in there. I'll be up the front stomping to this one. Don't you worry. If I had the chance to see Van Halen playing this song live, I would have been up front, mate. You wouldn't have got me anywhere else. So, look, it's a real tough feel on the song. The harmonies are really good. The solo's cool. The little breakdown is awesome. That sing-along, obviously, it sounds like a whole lot of fun, and they captured that, which was, quite unique that they put those little laughing and slight imperfections in there, which I love that stuff. I think that's the essence of a record and the process of recording, and you got to leave those little quirky bits in there, and I'm so glad they did that. The LaGrange vibes are truly evident, which I touched on. Outro solo is the highlight for me. I love Ed's playing on that, and I think maybe my excitement for this song has given it a 10 out of 10, and I would never skip it. I just think the song's fantastic. It's it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I have to echo what you said, bro, about that blues shuffle. I'm a blues man too. Anything that resembles anything like that automatically piques my interest. It generally indicates that it might be a song that you could play along to if you're a guitar player, which is pretty good. That ZZ Top vibe is evident, isn't it? And it's infectious. And ZZ Top were hugely influential around that time on a lot of bands. They were a solid gigging band. Party song to the max. Got a lot of connotations behind it. Bottoms up, sculling, it's it's a great song, smart song, clever song. I love it. I'm going to put this comment here that Fruitcake Tony's could very well be the best on the record. I'm not going to argue with that. I love the song too. I think this is 12 out of 10 for me. I love the song. No argument, and it's like Brad said and the Kurt Rev said, it's never a skip. Hard to find a skip on this album.
Agreed. Cool. All right, so we'll keep it on the same theme, Brad, with the next song, "Out of Love Again." He's not going to.
Yes.
Let's see. This is one of the oldest known Van Halen songs. Andrew's shaking his head. Do you know that? This is like one of the first songs that they had written. It obviously didn't make the first album. It goes back to pre-club days, so it goes back to the party days where they're doing the backyard parties. As we know, Eddie dominated the first album. I talked about this a little bit earlier, but with his guitar wizardry, he explains that he wanted to showcase his brother more on this record. I think this is another song where Alex was showcased truly with his brilliant drum playing. It's a fast, funky beat that they do along with Eddie's guitar riff. I love the lyrics from Dave. He says, let's see, "You're talking about leaving, but I don't want to be here. That you talk, you stare, and you're disbelieve in me. I just get up and walk out of love." I just love that saying. This song is full of the whole band contributes to this song. Strong background vocals. It's another dance and boogie track that we talk about is kind of ZZ Top-esque. My favorite part on this song is the little cymbal ding that Alex does right before the solo. I just think that's like perfect magic that was captured on tape. And I give it an 8 out of 10.
Man, we're all pretty close on this one, I think. On this record, other than one song so far. So it's got Out of Love Again. It's got such a cool intro. The vocals are amazing on this. Look, David Lee Roth hits some amazingly high trademark wahs in this one. You know, wow, those sort of things he does. It's just mind blowing how he gets that high and gets those squeals going. It's just unreal. When the song kicks in, it has a real unique feel on the drums, and it sounds really tough. And as you said, Kurt, like Alex is killing it in this track. It's just fantastic. The solo's fantastic. Really great feel from Ed. And I just mentioned here, or noted here, that the end part of the solo has a real Black Sabbath feel for me. I don't know if you guys want to have another listen to that at some point, but yeah, for me it's an 8 out of 10 and never a skip. Andrew?
Yeah, look, guys, it was never my favourite song on the album by far, and it's interesting here that Derek has put a comment saying, you know, that Ed was a big Alan Holdsworth fan, so there's something different about the song. I never made that connection, even though we all knew that Holdsworth had a huge influence with Eddie. Never made the connection to this song, so I might go back and renegotiate that after that comment, Derek. But look, it was never one of my favourites. I have to agree with what the Revs said. It's a showcase for Alex, who we know can hold a rhythm down. And so clearly Alex and Eddie for a long time just managed to get into the groove right when they were young, and that they can do that. It's probably a song I think that the brothers enjoy playing, well, certainly recording together. Not my favourite. On a good day, I might give it an 8 out of 10. But on a bad day, I could give it a 6 out of 10. So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10, guys.
That's fair enough.
That's fair. All right.
Oh, Jeff loves it. 10 out of 10.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's
All right,
the beauty.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, it's the beauty of this. You know, everyone's got a different opinion, and it makes you renegotiate, have another listen, and see where we're at too. That's why I love this. And guys, give us your rankings in the chat. I love seeing them pop up there because it makes me think, well, maybe I'm going to go have another listen to that.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So before we flip the record over to side B, I'm going to show a few pictures. Is that cool? We can go
to cool.
Grandpa Kurt's slideshow that puts everyone to sleep. Give me a second here. Can you guys see that? Andrew?
No. Have you shared?
Can't see
have
it?
You shared that? No.
Yeah,
I need to share it, bro.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
All right. Okay. Brad, this is right up your alley. This is Eddie's guitar setup for the studio.
Cool.
So I know it's kind of hard to see. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So we have one Marshall going into two cabinets. It looks like number 3 is his Variac. And then it's going into a dummy load, which I'm assuming is for his effects. So we have an MXR flanger, MXR phase 90, and then his Echoplex delay, which he changed it from the first album where he had 2 Echoplexes and he had 2 Univoxes, right? And so this one he cleaned it up a little bit, and then it's going into H&H power amp before it goes into the cabinets. So, and then before, I guess it looks like going straight into the amp, he has a mid boost. I don't know if that's a pedal. It must be. Is it an EQ?
Oh wow!
I think it's just like a mid boost EQ.
Yeah. Do you see that?
I'm reading the first thing. Oh no. So yeah, I'm guessing it would probably be more for EQing the. Depends on the guitar and the tone and everything they're trying to capture as well. But yeah, I can't see that. Yeah.
It just, it's real small, but it just says MXR EQ setup as mid boost, only occasionally used depending on the guitar. So,
yeah.
This is kind of a cool one. If you guys kind of know one of the big passions of mine about EVH is all the guitars and gear he used. And, he had Wayne Charvel make him the Bumblebee, and Wayne Charvel sold or he either sold the company or he partnered with Grover Jackson, and Grover Jackson started selling Bumblebee S guitars in some of the local guitar shops. And Eddie got wind of it, and he sent him a cease and desist letter. And Grover Jackson made this Van Halen shaped guitar and gave it to him to try to bridge mend the bridges, I guess, mend the fence with Eddie. And I believe Eddie gave this guitar. Here's another picture. I think that's the guy that made it. Same guy that made the Bumblebee, maybe. Yeah.
Hey, Simon.
There's the actual someone made a remake of the guitar, but Eddie actually gave the guitar away. He never even used it. But I think there's another body hanging in 5150 that we saw later on in the video, and it didn't have a neck on it. But you can see, Andrew, the strap button on the top wing there of the guitar down below. The input jack is right below the volume knob. Kind of a cool setup.
I like it.
Big old brass non-Floyd Rose tremolo. I'm not sure the manufacturer of that thing, but kind of cool. Perfect for the era.
That's fantastic. Love it.
Yeah. I don't know why this is in here, but never mind.
That's good anyway.
Yeah, here's another one. In '79, Eddie had a small pickup guy in the California area named Seymour Duncan. He had him special wind some pickups for Eddie, and he actually took Eddie's special windings and he tried to sell them. And he asked Eddie, "Hey, do you mind if we do a Van Halen custom pickup?" And Eddie said, "No, absolutely not. It was specially made for me." And Eddie picked up a guitar magazine like a couple weeks later, and he saw this ad here on the left where it says the Duncan Custom, which is a Van Halen wound pickup. And Eddie called him up and said, "Hey, I told you no, we don't. I told you not to do this." And he actually immediately took it down, and they changed it. So now it's just called the Duncan Custom, which people say is a Van Halen-esque pickup. So here's the before advertisement and the after advertisement. But you can see how crude these advertisements are with Seymour Duncan. This is way before, when they were just a small, like 3 or 4 man shop. Here's Eddie on the tour, right? You guys know, is partway through the '79 tour, he painted his Frankenstrat red. There's another picture of the tour with the Frankenstrat, and he actually has the original neck and headstock off the Bumblebee. It's painted black. He put that on Frankenstrat for a while. I think that guitar had like 18 different necks on it. This is the picture of a picture. Picture of a picture. This is Eddie with his Bumblebee, but look how young he is there. Pretty cool photo.
17.
What's that?
It looks like he's 17.
I know. He was probably, what, 22, 2010?
Wow.
There's another cool one, Brad, of a live shot. You can see some of his marshals there on stage. Yeah. You like that?
I'm in heaven.
Pretty cool photo. There's lots of pics on this tour. They were going to document the whole thing, and I think they had a film crew and a photographer follow them for like the first 1 or 2 months, and then they stopped, and then nothing ever happened with any of the footage. There's another good picture. The striped pants. Then there's some with his tight red pants. Same guitar, same tour. You know, he used this guitar a little bit in the 78 tour and then pretty much the whole time in the 79 tour, and then he was done with it. He wrestled with that guitar, never really got the sound he wanted out of it. This is one of my favorites. It's got the yellow jumpsuit. I mean, that thing looks like he's getting ready to go pressure wash some county buses or something. Pretty cool. He looks like a city worker or something. All right, here's my other favorite picture. He's jumping off some sort of a riser. But if you guys notice on the Bumblebee, we've seen like 3 different pickups on it. He was like constantly changing the pickups on that thing, trying to get the right sound, and then he's giving Brad the G chord right there. There's another cool one. He started wearing knee pads because he was sliding on stage, as we saw when we did Fruitcake Tony's show. But I think he was like mauling up his knees, so he started wearing knee pads because he was running around on stage like a madman. There's another shot, same show, different angle, maybe different camera. There's a website shot. David Lee Roth and his interesting, I don't know, he's wearing football pants there. This is a cool shot. This is backstage before they're going on. I don't think that's Alex in the front, but you see Eddie there, Dave, Michael getting ready to go on. That's a pretty cool shot.
Could be Alex.
Looks like a picture.
Could be.
I don't know if Alex would be wearing a polo. He usually probably had his shirt off, and he was about 9 beers in before he got up there.
Oh, good point. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So we showed a couple of these pictures last couple weeks ago, but here's Dave with a couple nurses, but to me it looks like he's wearing lipstick. So either he was kissing on these models or he got caught sitting in their makeup chair. Huh? And you can see here he's got the cast on his foot because he, broke his foot during that or doing that photo shoot, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me move on here. Some of these are repeats. There's another live shot. That's a cool one of Eddie. He's wearing blue jumpsuit this time, and it looks like David's wearing his Bumblebee outfit up there on the drum riser. Okay, that's a cool one of the Dragon Snake. If you guys haven't got a close shot of that guitar, he used that a short time on this tour. I got that photo from Johnny Bean. There's another web advertisement. You guys have seen that. That's a tour poster or a album poster. This is a cool one. Zoom in here. This is backstage. I think this is in Seattle, Washington. So you got Michael, Eddie, and I have no idea who this kid is sitting here in this chair. But whoever it is, he got to hang out with Eddie backstage. Pretty neat picture.
Wow.
Yeah. Almost done, guys.
It's not Johnny Bean. It looks like Johnny Bean.
That's what we said last time we went through pictures. It was Johnny Bean. There's another photo of that same backstage, but the kid, I don't know if he kicked him out or. And then here's a questionable picture.
Just remember, it's
There's
a family show. Don't want to see no accuser shots.
Sorry. It's packing heat. This is a good one.
Oh,
have you seen that one?
Itchy nose?
Sure. That one's a small one. Okay, this is a photo from Japan, 79 tour. I mean, these guys look like kids. Let me in here real quick.
Yeah.
Look at that. Michael Anthony looks just super young. They were on top of the world. There's them again in Japan. Here's Dave hanging upside down out of a cab over pickup. Who knows what he was doing. Here's Eddie and Dave. These are all Japan. That's Japan too. Check out that sound system back there. It's probably just to listen to the radio and some tapes. So after they got off, they finished the tour, or they finished the tour and finished recording. Eddie and Alex bought a couple motorcycles, and they rode dirt bikes one weekend. And Niels Lozauer took pictures of it, them up in the mountains. So this is them loading the bikes into their old crappy van that they used when they used to do the club days. So pretty funny. All right. There's David on the this is what I think either after or before they staged the pictures in Sunsets Down, where Eddie was sitting in front of all the speakers. There's them eating a bunch of sushi. That's them roller skating. There's them roller skating again. It's another live shot. This is a cool one.
Everybody was roller skating in the late 70s, brother.
Yeah. So there's Eddie with, I don't know if that's the Bumblebee or his Frankenstrat, but that's the Bumblebee headstock with the black painted headstock. But he's right there trying to get feedback off. I'm assuming that cabinet's probably the one that is wired up. It looks like it's mic'd.
Wow.
There's them again. David. These are Van Halen fan newsletters that they sent out after the first album. I just recently found these on the internet, but they're pretty cool. Can't really read them, but they're just a bunch of pictures of the band while on tour. There's another cool one of Ed. I think that's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Red.
A couple cool photos to share.
I'll get you to send
Which
me.
ones did you like, Andrew?
The jumpsuit ones.
Yeah.
He liked the David Lee Roth wearing lipstick one, didn't you, Andrew?
Yeah, the jumpsuit ones where he's wearing the yellow and blue jumpsuits were good photos. What about you, Brad? What'd you like?
I liked looking at the rig rundown. I want you to send me that photo at some point.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, moving on. Light Up the Sky was the first track on side 2, right? This was Eddie's favorite song on the album. If you guys listened to the interview with Steve Rosen, I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to listen to that one, but he went over each track by track, talked a lot about recording this album. Eddie came up with the riff of this song either during or after the Van Halen 1 recording session. He finished it up in the studio, but the band had decided that they had enough material, so they were going to push it to this album. And it became a staple as the opening song for the band for a couple years. So if any of you guys have watched Bootleg or any of the DLR era live shows, Light Up the Sky was their opening song that they used for quite a few years. And then Wolfgang brought it back for the last 2 tours. They started up with Light Up the Sky. So kind of a staple with of that era. To me, listening to this song, I feel like it's a stepping stone into Women and Children First. It's almost a taste of the future and what was to behold for the next album. If you listen to it, it kind of sounds similar. So a lot of the music off this album kind of comes from VH1, where I think this song is a little bit about what's to come. And I feel like it probably could have fit well in with Women and Children First. I thought Ted and Don did a great job in doubling the vocal track in this song. It seemed like they did a little bit of mixing with the vocals, how they kind of go in and out with Light Up the Sky. I thought that was really cool touch to the song. It made it didn't seem like 1979. It made it more 1980-ish. Maybe that's why. I feel like it should be Women and Children First, but great song. I give it a 7 out of 10. Never a skip.
Well, for me, Light Up the Sky, I love that intro, the ascending line that they do together. That's really cool. Once the song kicks in, it's just tough as nails. And I'm going to throw this out here because we're all Van Halen nuts, and you know, we're going to throw this out here. I love the riff, but I hear similarities in the idea of this riff with later material, even Sammy era. And I'm going to throw this out there because I want you guys to have a listen to this, because I was listening to Carnal Knowledge as well this week, and I went, hang on a second. And this chopping on the, if you have a listen to the riff for Light Up the Sky and then listen to Judgment Day, there's a lot of similarities in that. Until
Judgment that scratchy. Yep.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that there if you have a listen. And I just love that stuff where it's pedaling on the root note and there's the sort of melody, the guitar melody being played off a root note, chugging off a root string, you know what I mean? Which I hear that similar idea in Judgment Day as Light Up the Sky. I don't know if you guys can hear that similarity or you want to go and have another listen to that at some point. But now that I've heard that, I can hear where Judgment Day came from. Ed loved that idea. And I know this is one of Ed's favorite songs off the record, so it makes sense. The vocals and the harmonies are outstanding on this track. Not sure about the verse melodies being catchy, but they work. But obviously the chorus is so catchy. The breakdown is cool. I love the bass playing from Michael Anthony on this song in particular. The solo, it just kicks in like a mule. Like the use of his bar on this is fantastic. And this just highlights Alex as well. He's like the master of swing beats, and the little drum solo section is a classic example of that. I love the reverse reverb, which is that sort of what you were talking about with the vocal thing. There's like a reverse reverb, brings it in, sort of like that sort of thing, what they've done with the vocal there. I gave this song a 9 out of 10, and it's never a skip.
Cool. Brad, this song has like 4 or 5 different pieces of it. You know, it's chopped up and it's like a story kind of.
it's a journey. That's a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chop suey, chopped up. Interesting points, guys. Thank you very much for the opinions and the analysis on the song.
He says that whenever he's going to blow score.
Oh yeah. I can't play poker with you then, can I?
Oh,
jeepers. Okay, all right. I'm trying to dig myself out of a little bit of a hole here. Look, interesting analysis from Brad in regards to the development from this song to carnal knowledge, because I never picked up on that. Never did. I after you saying it, I'm hearing in the back of my head now the connection that you're making. So it's great, good archaeology, fantastic archaeology. So we'll all go back and renegotiate that. Still, I think I'm only going to give this song an 8 out of 10. I do understand, though, the intro is a rite of passage for a lot of guitar players, a lot of Van Halen nuts. It's up there with Mean Streets. It's one of those intros that guitar players want to get. It's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. I like the analysis that the Rev gave us with the glide up the sky, you know, that spacey sort of atmospheric effect that they were going for. Probably good. What is it? Good editing, good engineering, good miking. You know, good producing. Good studio work. When you consider how quickly the album was recorded. I'm reading in the chat here. You know, a lot of people have given it a 10 out of 10, and you know it's great. Fruitcake Tony said it's a good song to start side 2. I'll agree with that. It's a good song to start side 2. It's never a skip.
Cool.
What'd you give it?
Spanish Fly.
8 out of 10.
That's a pretty good score. Spanish Fly. So prior to Eddie even recording Van Halen 1, there was a story of a girlfriend of his that he went over to her house. It might have even been in high school or after high school. And she had this Hispanic-made guitar. Her parents had it hanging in their living room on the wall. And the strings were made out of fish line. And it wasn't even like a real guitar. It was a decor. And Eddie took it off the wall and tuned it up and started playing it. And the reason I bring this up is because everything he did in life, whether it was picking up, playing the piano, playing the drums, playing the bass, playing the guitar. I also heard a story of him picking up a saxophone, and he could play the saxophone. So with that being said, he picked up this 6-string acoustic nylon string guitar at Ted's house during a New Year's Eve party, and he just started noodling, and Ted was blown away, and he's like, let's throw that thing on the album. Well, if you guys put the timeline together, they had pretty much finished recording the album, tracking it at least in mid-December, and Ted said that he played this at a New Year's Eve party, so I'm thinking this was a last-minute addition to the album, where he probably brought Ed back in the studio by himself, and they tracked this song and threw it on there. I've listened to the beginning a million times as a kid, trying to figure out what the mumbling is at the beginning, whether it's Eddie or whether it's Dave or whether it's Ted or Don in the studio. I'm not sure, but he's just like, it just, I've always intrigued me on what the mumbling was, but perfect second addition to Eruption. I love the fact that he used an Ovation, no amp, no distortion, no effects pedals. It's just Eddie in his rawness. It could have been longer than a minute long. It probably could have been another minute, maybe 2 minutes long, and it would have been like a 12.5 out of 10. But I give it a 10 out of 10. I love this song.
Spanish Fly. There's really only a few things that need to be said more than you've said, Kurt, and that's amazing, brilliant, hypnotic. I get lost listening to this. I've listened to this track, I don't know, a million times, maybe more. I love hearing Ed so exposed and raw, and Ed playing an acoustic as well. I would have loved to have heard more of Ed doing this sort of thing with acoustic guitars, and it to me, like, listening to this, this one gets me. It hits that nerve of like, wow, man, we've lost Ed. This is the track that did it for me. Yeah, definitely Ed exposed and raw, and I don't really know what else to say other than this is a genius at work here. Can pick up any instrument and make it sound phenomenal. There's no effects. There's no tricks here. It's just a guitar, and he's just playing it. It's just an acoustic guitar, and for that very reason, I have to give this like one of my scores, like a 20 out of 10. It's I love Eruption, but I'm more lean towards this being just brilliant. It's like I said, it hits the nerve of like, gets to me when I listen to it now more so than ever. So Andrew.
Oh, look, I want to thank the Rev for his background information on this song. I love this song, this tune, this number. It was unbelievable when I first heard it, and I think most of us, will recognise those sentiments. It was like Eruption, but jeepers, it wasn't. It was with an acoustic guitar. What else can this guy do? It was just a centerpiece of conversation with me and my guitar, playing and loving friends for a long, long time, just trying to work out how cool this guy was, and how he was getting the stuff with a clearly nylon string guitar. It's beautiful. There's a lot of comments in here, and I think we're all on the same page. Robot's saying it's a pleasant tune. It's a 10 out of 10. KXM Rocks got, it's acoustic equivalent to Eruption. It's beautiful. I love it. It's endearing. Look, and I'm going to give it a Brad score too. It's a 12. It's a 20 out of 10. I love it. And before I hand it on to the Rev, I just want to do a special shout out. I've received a message from a very good friend of the show, Warren, who's in hospital at the moment. So we're all familiar. We all know who Warren is. He's a good friend, especially of the British Electric Blues Sunday show that we do. So if we can all do a shout out to Warren as he's going through his treatment. We love you, bro. We thank you, and you have our prayers and our thoughts, and you're always close to this show. So get well, bro. Get well, and if you are watching the show from hospital, we love you, bro, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, well,
prayers going your way, buddy.
Yeah. Well,
thanks, Andrew.
No problem.
If you were to stack this up to little guitars, where does it stack up to you guys? Now that we've done Diver Down already.
Oh, that's a very Oh, gee, that's a difficult one. I'm going to pick this.
You like
I'm going to
you
pick
like one
this.
better than the other?
Oh, mate,
What's your thought,
I'm going to
Brad?
have,
I'm going to
to
put
pick.
you on the.
I'm going.
Go ahead, Andrew. You can go first.
No, I'm going to pick this one.
Yeah, I have to lean towards more of this just because of, in the sentiment that I was talking about before. It's just it's Ed raw, exposed. Yeah, it's a definite Spanish Fly for me.
Rev,
Rev.
your choice.
It's a toss-up. He was doing those hammer-ons on little guitars, and everyone thought that it was overdubbed and it was two guitars. It's probably Spanish Fly by Nose Hair. By David Lee Roth Nose Hair. It's a Spanish Fly.
Okay. By Nose Hair.
By Nose Hair. And Andrew, you didn't want to vote. It's a toss-up.
Well, I'm going to have to pick Spanish Fly.
Okay. All right. So we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good tune. All right. So moving on to Dead or Alive, which typically Van Halen will put these little solos as a intro or interlude to these songs, but I don't think Spanish Fly has anything to do with Dead or Alive. I think it just has to do with track placement. Eddie was pretty notorious for wanting to break up albums, and this is probably something he picked up from Ted, where he didn't want to put all the hard rock stuff in the first 5 tracks and then put the poppier soft stuff on the other tracks. He wanted to break them up like in twos. Yep. So I don't think Spanish Fly was the introduction to Dead or Alive. I think someone mentioned that in the chat that it wasn't, and I agree with them. But DOA was what it's called on the album, which some call it Dead on Arrival, but the band used Dead or Alive. This is kind of an outlaw song, I would say. This song kind of relates to the youth due to the lyrics that David Lee Roth put, and I actually think these are brilliant lyrics that he used in this song. And if you listen to them and sing along to them, I think they're brilliant, and it fits the song perfectly. This was actually a Club Day regular. It was on the Warner Brothers demo. I love how this song has it speeds up towards the end and just adds that swagger. I think David and Eddie are kind of the showcases on this song, between Eddie's guitar and David Lee Roth's brilliant lyrics and singing. They own this song, and of course Dave. And I was going to try to add up all the howls and squeals and yelps that he did on this album, but I stopped counting after like 30. But it's all over all these songs, and it's all over this song as well. This one's a real rocker, and I give it a 10 out of 10. Believe it or not, boys.
Dead or Alive, man. It's an awesome track, I gotta say. Oh. I love the dive release intro, like I just think that's awesome. I mean, straight into that sludgy, chubby riff. It's tough as nails. And I say that in the most powerful way possible. It's just like this chubby, sludgy vibe. It's so cool. The verses are rhythmic, and the vocal melody highlights that. So what I'm saying is that the way he's singing it is so rhythmic, which is odd for David Lee Roth, because he used to just sing over the top of things, and I really look for that in a vocal melody. I like rhythmic vocal melodies, so really well written. The chorus is really catchy, and I love the harmonies. The solo's great. I love the bar use in the solos. I think it's an MXR phaser he's using. There's some really cool MXR phaser vibes in this song. And the outro is very unusual, but it works. I mean, like, how often do you hear an outro like that to a song, the way it ends? So I gave it a 9.5 out of 10, and I love the track. It's just amazing. Yeah, David Lee Roth, his vocal melody in this song is fantastic.
Yeah, look at Fruitcake Tony's saying here. We're sitting ducks for the police, man. I mean, the amazing lyrics. And Brad, you mentioned something too, Andrew, and I'll let you go, but every single song on this album has a unique ending. If you've noticed, every ending's unique. And the first album, they had that theatrical ending, and I think they wanted to change that up a little bit. They probably learned when they played live that they wanted to go to one song to the next and have the abrupt, cool ending to be able to parlay into something that they're going to play next. And so I think they integrated that into this album.
Yeah.
This song ain't no Dance the Night Away, is it? It's so far removed from Dance the Night Away. It's remarkable. It's a dark song, and I mean that nicely when I say a dark song. It's yeah. I love that chugging rhythm that it's got.
Face kid in the garbage can.
Yeah. Kurt's discussion on the lyrics are amazing. It's probably one of David Lee Roth's great lyric writing performances.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. The way that they segmented the songs on this side's remarkable. Light Up the Sky, Spanish Fly, this, and then you've got the next two songs. One of the great things that I always loved about DOA is that it was the intro song for the next song, which is, I don't want to talk about that, but look, this song's an 8 out of 10 for me. It's a solid song. It's not a skip. Yeah, I love the song.
So when I was 9, 10, when I first got this album, I probably didn't pay much attention to this song. But then as I got older and I got heavily more into Van Halen as I was like 16, 17, 18, and I went back to the DLR era, I really gravitated to this song off this album for some reason. It was like my Unchained off this album.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
All right. Women in love. So Brad, this song is about a couple lesbians. You probably knew that, right?
Hey, Jeff.
I assume so, yes.
Yeah. So I know it's a family show, but Eddie was quoted to say that this song is about a guy losing his girlfriend to another girl. And it was their sick kind of way of putting a twist on a song to where people thought, if you listen to the lyrics, it was about a guy losing his girlfriend to another guy, but it was actually she fell in love with another girl. This is another boogie song. This is the one that Eddie put the strat together that we talked about 2 weeks ago for the intro.
Yep.
And for, I think, the solo where he did the harmonics, which if you guys want to know a little bit more about that, watch the show 2 weeks ago. The harmonics on this song give me goosebumps. The solo, it's amazing. It sounds like he's running it through a harmonizer, but it's actually 2 tracks that he layered together. He talked about he didn't like doing double tracks, but he did on 2 or 3 songs, and this was one of them. It's a 9 out of a 10. Never skip. This is a great song.
Yeah, Women in Love. It's an amazing intro. I love the tap harmonics. There's a nice chorus effect. The drums and bass are really solid in it. I love the track guitars in the pre-verse. There's the chorus is really catchy, great harmonies as well. For some reason, I don't know, I might need to time out here, but I feel the song drags at times for me. But the solo is the highlight for me. That lifts my ranking to a 7 out of 10. But yeah, I don't know why, guys. This song just doesn't resonate with me as like the other ones, but it's still brilliant. It's just, yeah.
That's fair.
Oh well, I never picked that, guys. You guys have amazed me a little bit this evening. Yeah. Stay there. I'm going to agree with you. Stay there too. All right. This is just the Tony Fruitcake, Tony and Andrew segment of the show. The intro to Woman in Love is the greatest example of tap harmonics in the whole Van Halen catalogue, in your most humble opinion. Well, I'm going to probably agree with you there, Fruitcake Tony. I think the song is fantastic. I love it. I love the pop sensibilities to the song. The tap harmonics are fantastic, beautiful. One of David Lee Roth's best vocal performances, in my opinion. I think he nailed the vocals really well on this song. Yeah. Look, I love the pop, and I say that word. I think we all know as Van Halen fans when we use the word pop to describe songs with Van Halen. But I love that part of Van Halen. I love it. I'm fascinated by it. You can sing along to this song, despite the gut-wrenching, horrible sentiments about the song. and Simon said something here about, D.H. Lawrence, the X-ratedness of the song. Look, I love it. It's a 10 out of 10. Never a skip. And it would be a song that I would play to a virgin Van Halen fan. This would be one of the songs I'd play. One of David Lee Roth's greatest songs, in my opinion, with Van Halen.
Wow. Gone to a whole new level.
Yeah. So we'll see. There's someone agreeing with Brad there. Oh, okay. Here we go. It does drag a bit.
I think Brad messaged him on a private chat when he went out.
Stick up for me, bro. Please, come on. Can someone stick up for me?
Derek understands where I'm coming from. That's all. Look, it's still Van Halen. It's a great song, but it's just out of the album. I just find this one. Anyway, I'll leave it at that because we don't have to be, we don't have to rate the song the same every time. So.
No, I appreciate the fact that we can be a couple of points off the tracks. I think that's what's really amazing about ranking the tracks, isn't it? And also comparing our ranks with everyone else's in the chats too. So, yeah. It's part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm actually pretty impressed. Our scores have been really close this whole show, believe it or not. Between the differences, we're probably all even. But we're rounding third and sliding into home with the last song here. Probably one of my favorite songs on the album. In 1987 or 88, my brother had a high school band. They played this song along with Ice Cream Man in their set list. Shout out to Iron Horse was the band name, and they're actually getting together and they're going to play in Idaho in August. And they haven't played in 20 years, so I'm gonna go watch them
live stream.
I will live stream it because the whole band, they're, they started in high school, but a majority of the bandmates are all Beatles influenced. My brothers were probably one of the biggest Beatle fans in the world. All they all play guitar, they all play bass, they all sing, they all play piano. They're all great musicians that bounce around the stage from instrument to instrument. So it'll be cool. I'll take some live streams for sure. But
Fantastic, bro. Look forward to it.
Yeah, this was one of their songs that they did. And that was probably one of the reasons why I fell in love with Van Halen, because at first I thought it was one of their songs, but of course it wasn't. But I love this song. It's a party song, instant party song. I'm sure, and I don't know. I know Andrew doesn't know. Brad might know, but he probably doesn't know. But this was probably played in a few strip clubs across the continental U.S. a few times. I love the lyrics. I'm a bum in the sun, and I'm just having fun. And I got no special plans, and all I need is that woman. I should get that tattooed on my back. I love that lyric. I love the shooby-doo-wop part of the song towards the end. It kind of gives that barbershop quartet type singing again that they do again. It's another happy song, very upbeat. I think they did a great balance in the album with some great rock tunes, and then they had couple good pop tunes and a couple good upbeat songs. I love the ending to this song. I love the solo. This is a 12 out of 10 for me. And I love Beautiful Girls.
You just took my set. You just took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful Girls.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, one of the very first 5150 shows we did was, ranking our favorite Van Halen songs. And this was one of them. And I think a few people were surprised by me saying this is one of my favorite Van Halen songs. But yes, absolutely love this track. And you think the amount of times I'd listen to it that you would actually get sick of hearing this song. But I don't. And the last 4 weeks maybe that we've been going over Van Halen 2, I still listen to this song the most out of all the tracks. And, I love the feel of the track. It's a real summer vibe to me. I picture, being out at the beach, driving down to the beach, that sort of thing for me. Fun vibes. And really, who doesn't love beautiful girls? Even girls love beautiful girls. Let's be honest. They admire beauty. They might pick on them, but they love it. So, beautiful girls are beautiful girls.
Master Switch comment?
No, I
Did you see
haven't
Robot
seen
Master Switch's comment?
Well, I'm trying to keep it family show here, but let's just say I've been to let's just say that I've been to gentlemen's clubs after gigs, because some of the events were sponsored by gentlemen's clubs, and the after parties were there, and beautiful girls would always get like a rotation every 10 or 12 songs that would come up again, and the gentlemen's club would go into, yes, beautiful girls. I'll leave it there.
Robot Master Switch, you can fit a dollar bill in between that G string. It fits perfect.
I'm deviating away from the song here, so I'm going to call it back. So it's a great last song for the record too, and I have to say, it's probably one of the best picks out of all of Van Halen records to end an album. They've ended the album strong. The bass playing is fantastic throughout the whole song. The drums have a really cool feel, great rhythmic vocals, the melody. That's something that I look for in songwriting, is a rhythmic vocal, more so than the lyrical content. I like it to have rhythm, and there's almost like a bit of a soulful feel with the vocals there. The chorus is really catchy, great harmonies, like not knock your socks off type harmonies in this track. And the solo is one of my favorites, even though it's very short. I love the feel of the riff and the swagger. I give it a 10 out of 10, a 20 out of 10 or whatever. Yeah, it's a strong song. So, Andrew.
Guys, you know how we sometimes talk about, a song being an Eddie song, or something being heavily influenced and reminiscent of maybe Alex. This is quintessentially a David Lee Roth song, isn't it? It's a song that that fits right up there with California Girls. When we saw California Girls after he split from Van Halen, and they had the video there, you could just this song fits right. Yeah, it's David Lee Roth to the max. And look, I agree with everybody in the chat. It's a fun song. It's a great song. I've never seen this song performed in gentlemen's clubs or anything like that. So, yes, the Rev got that right, and he got Brad maybe would have seen it, so he got that one too. So, we can't hide from the Rev, can we? Look, I love the song. It's a fun song. Great way to end an album. It's not a serious album. It's a great number 2 album, isn't it? It sums up where Van Halen have come from and where they're going to go with the in the future. Certainly a party band, and they wear that label with honor, don't they? Being a party band, they don't see that as being derogatory or a put down at all. They're very happy with that. People enjoy their music, and I think the song sums it up for a lot of people. I love the song. It's a 10 out of 10. Never a skip.
Yeah, they Fruitcake can probably contest to this, but I hope I don't offend anyone. But if you go to a Rush show, there's no lines in the women's restroom because there's no women there. It's all men.
Like
if you go to a Joe Satriani concert, he's great. I love Joe Satriani. There's no women there. It's all men. One thing Van Halen did is they brought the women to the rock shows. And I think, Led Zeppelin probably had a pretty good following of females. AC/DC probably did too. But Van Halen really brought, and they did it on purpose. There was a method to their madness. And, there's a reason why Alex and Dave and Eddie ran around on stage with their shirts off, greased up like a bunch of pigs in a race. Like they were there to, fire up the females. How many times did Dave say, "I'm here to steal your girlfriend"? Like that was their MO. They were a party band. They wanted people drinking beer, having a good time. It wasn't just sit and, headbang. It was actually get up on your feet, dance, party before the show, party during the show, and party after the show. And I think their albums were a reflection of that because that's what they wanted to portray when they were on stage. So it was the same thing in the studio.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a point that Simon makes a couple of times on some of the shows we do on the Sunday show, guys. It's important for a band, if it gets people dancing, and if it gets people drinking, that's a commercial reality, getting girls to gigs and that's an important part of whether or not a band's going to be really successful or just successful or just play music, And a lot of bands will play music, or a lot of guys and girls will join bands for a lot of different reasons. And, I get the point that you make, bro, about Rush, because Dream Theater are the same kind of band, You go and watch Dream Theater here in New Zealand, it's just heaps of guys and all the guys going there are all
Sausage fest.
computer guy. They're all computer guys, and they're all standing there. Yeah. Why? Because I've been to a Dream Theater concert, But yeah, I get the point that you're making, and no one's going to say that Joe Satriani or John Petrucci are irrelevant guitar players. Clearly, they're not. But there's a method to what Van Halen wanted to achieve, and I think the Rev and Brad have hit the nail on the head. It's you have to be, if you can draw as much of a cross section to your music, you're going to be better for it commercially as a band. But I just think, guys, that's just who Van Halen were. That they weren't pretending to be anything or anybody. That was just the nature of the band. Am I right or wrong? Yeah, it was just like a glove, a fist in a glove, a foot in a boot. It was just who they were, and they did it really well.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine how many, 44 shows, how many women Fruitcake Tony saw dancing around in his lifetime.
Or Simon, yeah, woman dance and Blake's watch.
Yeah.
Hey?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fruitcake Tony probably didn't show us all the other pictures he took that weren't on stage. Yeah. Well, I really look forward to these last two albums. So I think it'll be fun doing VH1. I consider it right up there with VH2. But this was a fun one. There's a lot of fun songs. Van Halen 1, there's a lot of technical stuff we can talk about that'll be fun. But I enjoyed going through these tracks for sure, revisiting them. This is, as you guys see, I have 2 CDs and this album. I love this album. It's up there with one I would probably take on a desert island with me.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if it would be a desert island album for me.
We get 10 albums, right? 10 albums on the desert.
Yeah.
Gonna take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a good day, could be 20. Could be 20.
Just going back to the.
Hey, Caleb.
Just going back to the thing about getting women to the show and being a band that draws women in as well. Van Halen did it so very well, but a musician, a very famous musician that I'm friends with, once said to me, "Don't play to the guys in the back row with their arms crossed. Play to the women and guys at the front that want to be you or want to be with you. Cater for those people. Don't try. In other words, don't cater to the musos up the back with their arms crossed going, I can do it better, or that's not good enough. You want to cater to the people that are having fun." So, yeah. That's something that resonated with me a lot. And even to like today, like writing songs and things like that, I think of that comment every single day, and I thought of that while you were talking about that, and I wasn't sure whether I should say it, but I think that's a really valid point that Van Halen did, is they just played fun music and catered to their fans, the people that were into the music. That despite the fact that Eddie Van Halen was probably one of the most influential musicians of our time, they wrote good songs. They wrote songs that were fun, party, energy. Anything that was dark was still fun. They made it about the song. So that's what especially in the first 2 records, I really pick up that energy of the band. They were really fun. They were writing the things that were making them noticed. They focused heavily on. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that, but
yeah, Brad, I agree, because they came up through the ranks when they were younger trying to make it. And there's a lot of bands out there that were talented and they would get together and they would get signed right away, like 1 or 2 years in. Well, Van Halen played together for 7 years, 6-7 years before they got signed, and they ran their own deal. They didn't just have a manager that booked them at these convention centers. They actually did backyard parties. They did their own booking. They would just rent out a entertainment hall, and they would sell their own tickets, and they would sell their own flyers, and they'd bring their own beer, and they would charge for the beer cups. They kind of did their own thing for 6 or 7 years, and by the time they were famous, the reason they were so good on stage is because they spent 6-7 years trying to keep people at the shows back in the day, or getting people at the shows to talk about them to their friends so they would bring more people to the shows. So they really worked it organically versus a band that gets signed early and they work it when they're on the road. Van Halen worked it on the streets, basically, if that's fair to say.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why we love them, because there's no fakeness to Van Halen. You've hit the nail on the head there, Kurt. They're an organic band. They're part of the Californian scene, weren't they? Which is really, really important, because that Californian scene and that celebration of music wasn't just confined to California. It became part and parcel of popular music around the world. It was something that here in New Zealand I wanted to taste as a young guy growing up. And I just watched a DVD the other night about Laurel Canyon, and it's interviewing these guys and girls from the late 60s, what was important about Laurel Canyon and what was happening. And it's that whole California, LA music scene, and I'm making parallels to Van Halen because it's that same creativity, I'm sure, that they were part of. Which a guy here in Hamilton, New Zealand can only just kind of get a glimpse of when you're 14 years old listening to the music, and it's through the music that you're getting a taste of that. And then later on, when we get older and technology develops and we've got YouTube and we can see the US Festival, for example, we can see Oakland, we can see these important gigs that we never saw here in New Zealand. And I'm assuming Brad didn't get to see too for a long time. We were reading about these gigs and articles, and to finally see that ourselves, to see these girls in the front row with big eyes looking at Van Halen and a couple of guys standing there too at the same time, it's just like fascinating. Love it.
Yes. Play to the people that love what you're doing and keep catering to that. That's what I take away from it. So
yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head, bro. And you're a performing musician, so you're proof that the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? Because that's exactly what you do. You're playing to the people that you can see in front of you. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, why not?
And at their level, where they were at, that's some of the best advice I've ever heard from a musician that's got quite a fair amount of success. And that, because as a musician, you tend to want to impress other musicians, but it's not who you're there. It's about the song and writing for the masses, not necessarily the people at the back with their arms crossed. So
right.
I think that's what Van Halen did really well, especially in the early days. They were all technically amazing players. We know that. But they write great songs.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And they probably fed off the crowd, too, as the crowd got rowdy, and they upped their game, too. you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure spending a couple of hours with you guys and everyone else in the chat going through this album. This is part 2 of Van Halen 2, so we look forward to joining you guys in a couple of weeks' time when we do the deep dive and the preparation for Van Halen 1, where the Rev will lead us and give us some idea and into the gear that they were using. Give us a bit of an appreciation of the time when disco was, king. And, we had the punk music scene too, making a huge impact. And Van Halen come along doing, wow. Did Van Halen have any idea what they were dropping on us? Probably not.
No. I think they were just doing what they knew, letting it go, letting the stream take it down the stream. Letting the wind take it down the stream. I think. I don't think they knew what was ahead of them.
I appreciate all those kind words, guys. Thank you, Robot, and thank you, Deja Verde. We're just 3 cats hanging out who are Van Halen nuts, and we appreciate the fact that you guys want to join us. We had, 24, 25 people at one stage watching us. We always appreciate the kind comments that you guys give us at the end of these hangouts that we do. And just give us your opinions too. On the last show that we did, Alan Gerber dropped a couple of cool comments there, and Derek did as well. We always appreciate that, because as organic fans, we're leaving behind our contribution to Eddie Van Halen, and we're just doing that together as fans. We're just giving a little bit of our opinion and our involvement and our appreciation to the Van Halen legacy. And, that's something that I personally enjoy doing. And I'm just so blessed and grateful to hang out with 2 awesome co-hosts who prepare a lot. I enjoy the preparation that we do together and the sharing of information that we get. If you guys aren't members of the Johnny Bean Discord, if you just give me 2 seconds, if you go here and follow Kurt there, he'll tell you how to get on there. I need to do probably a link on how to do that, because the Rev is prolific over there in his contributions. And if you share...
My address is Kurt S. 5150 on Instagram.
Oh, is that wrong?
Yeah, some jackass named Kurt already has that handle, so it's Kurt S.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. We got to get that right.
Yeah. I'm going to keep up with Kurt. Sometimes I have to go back and look at what Kurt's been posting, because I very seldomly jump on Instagram. Like frequently, I have a couple of times a day I do it, and I look the other day, and you've done like 10 more posts I hadn't seen. I was like, oh my God, can't keep up with you, Kurt. You're all over it.
Don't feel like you need to reply back. I'm just picking up the, where you guys can't do it. So don't worry about it. It's Kurt S 5150.
Hold on. I'm blind as a bat. Kurt S. Here we go. Hold on. This font here on this blinking thing is... Hold on.
Blankety blank. Also, next in 2 weeks, from the Discord, since you bring that up, James Gumm's going to join us, and he's going to show us some of his Van Halen guitars.
No problem at all. Fantastic. Jump on board. And also, are we going to do... Okay, and we have to do the draw too. We've got to do the draw for the T-shirt next. Okay, so if you guys can help us, share our link and get your friends to subscribe and jump into the chat, and we'll do a live draw for the Van Halen T-shirt from the Van Halen store. And you go on there and you just tell us which one you want, what your size is, what your address is, and we'll get it sent to you. Cool, easy.
If you see someone in the chat or whatever called Cookie something, whatever. That's probably me, and I'm going to try and get the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Cookie
But
Bradley.
you have to be live in the. Yeah. Bradley's mum. What's Warren's Brad's mum or something? Brad Cook's mum or something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm joking, guys. I'm not going to ruin the run. Your T-shirt looks great, by the way, Andrew. I like that one. And
Thank you, bro.
That's from the store. And just before we wrap it up, guys, happy birthday, Andrew. You
Thank
sort
you,
of
bro.
kept that one on the quiet. I found out through social media, not from you, that it was your birthday. So there you go.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the kind wishes, everyone. It's
If I would have known it was your birthday, I would have had one of David Lee Ross' bodyguards hop out of a cupcake for you.
Oh my gosh! Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nerd Halen. Thank you, everyone, for the kind birthday wishes. Appreciate it.
Robot.
We're looking forward to some little sound files on Instagram of your Univibe pedal that you just got too.
Yeah. I've got it over here. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. But appreciate the kind support, everyone, and share the channel. We make absolutely no bones. We're here for subs. It would be great to get 1,000 subs. If you join us live next show, you get a number and you can win a Van Halen T-shirt from the Van Halen store. That's pretty easy. Wow.
Ricky, don't lose that number.
That number. It's the only one you've got. Ooh. Okay, we're out of here. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone in the chat, Rev?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
All right, here we go.
Lean forward.
Here we go. Give me a second here. Get my sea legs under me. All right, we got Derek Clacton. Thank you. Fruitcake Tony. Thanks for staying up late. We got Jeff T. Johnny Bean. Mark Tanner. Nelson Rodriguez with a wrench. Nerd Halen. Caleb Rappaport. Robot Master Switch. Sonia. Lenny Lou. British Electric Blues. And Brad's mom. Thank you, guys. Oh, and we got, what is that? Hobo Brody.
Thank you, Hobo Brody. Thank you, guys. We're on tomorrow, Brad and I, with Simon doing Rankin the Tracks, Bad Company's first album. What a joy that's been listening to that album over the last week. Wow, I love that album. What a, mixed guitar tone. Wow, I didn't realize how good that album is. Wow, I love it. Check it out. Bad Company's first album, the black one, which Bad Company like that. Check it out, guys.
I was going to say they should have called it Badass Company because it's a badass record.
Yeah, man. That what a cracker. Man, that's a firecracker, that album. Look forward to that one.
Yep. Bottoms up company.
Woo! Okay, we're out of here.
See you guys.
Where's the button? Where's the eject?
Push the
Where's
button.
the eject button? Where is it? There it is. Eject.